Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. At UFC 264 this past Saturday, Sean O'Malley took on Kris Moutinho. Moutinho was stepping in on about 10 days' notice after O'Malley's original opponent, Luis Smoka, pulled out with an undisclosed injury. The UFC was desperate to keep Sean O'Malley on this card because they're trying to build O'Malley into a star, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on this card considering Conor McGregor is in the main event fighting Dustin Poirier. They knew it was going to be a big event, and they were desperate to keep O'Malley on that pay-per-view opening slot and get some eyes on him. So I've been reflecting on the card, and I had to make this video. I know the Sean O'Malley call is going to hate me for this, but I think that Sean O'Malley is the real loser from Saturday, and Kris Moutinho is the real winner from that fight card. And this is going to be a very weird comparison, and it doesn't exactly line up, but you'll understand what I'm saying. This fight was very similar to Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz just passed at UFC 262. And the reason I say it was very similar to that is because all people are going to remember from this fight card is a guy named Kris Moutinho who came in on very short notice. He's a guy who's never fought in the UFC. He's a guy who's only 9-4 outside of the UFC. And he steps in on about 10 days' notice, and he put up a fight against Sean O'Malley. And I know people are going to say, oh, he put up a fight. He got beat up for 3 rounds. That guy pressured Sean O'Malley and was looking to take his head off the entire fight. Now, he landed a couple shots. It wasn't an overall great performance by any means, but to come in on such short notice against a guy who's touted as, the next champion and, undefeated and, the next big star in the UFC, and to come in and press him so hard that he's staring up at the clock every single round O'Malley took looks at that clock. So it's almost like coming out of that fight, nobody's going to remember Sean O'Malley's performance, even though he did put on a great performance where he landed nasty shots in rounds 1, 2, and 3. Hurt Moutinho badly multiple times, but Moutinho was just walking forward, eating the shots, and looking to land his own. People are going to remember that performance by Kris. And, I didn't like this fight originally and, going into the fight because I felt like the UFC could have done better, found someone within the UFC to take on O'Malley. But Kris Moutinho has earned my respect. That guy went on in there on such short notice, and to walk O'Malley down the way he did, absorb the damage that he did, and there was no quitting him. I've talked about it in my channel before. There is guys who face adversity and they pack it in, and they're just ready to take the loss. And then there's guys who, no matter what is happening in a fight, they are going for the win, no matter what, no matter how badly they're losing. And Moutinho showed that he has some of the greatest heart in MMA. He walked forward. He ate so many shots, and he was looking for a kill shot of his own. He wasn't just existing in there. He was absorbing damage, but he was absorbing damage to land his own shots. And I think Herb Dean made a massive error on Saturday night. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the craziest stoppage we've ever seen, but Moutinho was still fighting. And I know he absorbed a lot of damage, but I don't think Moutinho got a fair, shake from Herb Dean, because I think Herb knew, obviously knows Moutinho's coming in on short notice, never fought in the UFC. He saw the damage he was absorbing and decided to stop it. But with 30 seconds to go in the third round, if Herb really wanted to stop it, he could have stopped at the end of the first round or the end of the second round. Moutinho was there to fight, and he was ready to take O'Malley's head off, and I have to give him so much respect for that. And if you don't get the comparison to the Nate Diaz-Leon Edwards fight, what I'm saying is, they're going to remember the performance from the losing fighter. So Leon Edwards went in there and he outclassed Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz rocked him in the 5th round, and that's all people talked about coming out of that fight. Did you see what Nate Diaz did in that 5th round? He rocked Leon Edwards, and nobody remembers the performance up until that point. So it doesn't matter that O'Malley, outclassed him for 3 rounds. Moutinho was looking for the kill in that cage on 10 days' notice, or even less than that. I'm not even 100% sure how many days it was that he accepted the fight. But he went out there, and he had O'Malley staring up at that clock. And, do I wish he would have put on a little bit better performance considering, he didn't mix in any takedowns. He didn't throw very many leg kicks. I said in my pre-fight to that video, I thought that O'Malley was going to be able to stop him, and he wasn't able to. That's what he was put there for. And that's another reason why I was so critical of this matchup from the UFC to begin with. Because even though, people say I'm a Sean O'Malley hater, this was a lose-lose for Sean O'Malley in reality. Because unless he went in there and put on a crazy highlight reel KO, which a lot of people thought he was going to do, then he lost. Because this is a guy that, in everybody's eyes, he was supposed to beat. And he was supposed to beat, spectacularly. And, this guy pressed him to his limits. Sean O'Malley, I just can't, I know I've said it multiple times. He was staring up at that clock. He could not believe that Moutinho just kept pressing him, and there was no quit in that guy. And so I just think, it was a mistake by the UFC, but who knows if Kris Moutinho is able to build himself and work on his skill set and come out and he's going to get another opportunity in the UFC. That's why these guys take these short notice fights, because even though they may lose, they're going to usually get in a 2-fight contract and they can get a second fight where they can actually prepare for the fight. So I think, Kris Moutinho earned the respect of everybody in the MMA community. Everybody should be singing his praises. This guy has so much heart. And to go in there on such short notice against a highly touted prospect who a lot of people think has the most elite striking in the bantamweight division, I tend to disagree with that assessment. But no matter what, he does have relatively good striking and good knockout power. To go in there and walk him down for 3 rounds, even in a losing effort, that guy's a winner in my mind. So much respect to Moutinho. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I crazy? Like the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.